Hi guys, Paul Pluta on the Paul Pluta channel. Today guys, I want to make a very special channel announcement, and it may change the course of how I do my videos. I'd like to liquidate all my Patek Philippe. That's correct. I no longer have the desire to own my Patek collection. And I've been a bit down. This week I've had trouble. My eldest two kids have been a pain in the ass, and I've been a bit flat. And I was doing a live show Sunday morning Australian time, which is you Americans, that's Saturday night. And we're going a bit flat, and we invited this guy on, and his name was Zane. And he's a super Patek collector. He's got all the cool shit, Nautiluses, Aquanauts, Sky Moon, you know, all the Celestial. He had the Celestial, and he came on, and I got to be totally honest with you. I think he was kind of egged on by Clivers, and yeah, that's okay. Clivers, you know, I don't mind Clivers. Clivers is okay. He's a bit of an asshole at times, but I kind of think he's not a bad guy. But Zane kind of said a few derogatory things about my my collection, and I got to be honest with you. I don't want to argue the point with Zane, but I want to just say that this new class of Patek buyer who wants the cool, trendy Pateks, it's not me. I got nothing in common with them. In fact, I hate them. I really fucking hate these sort of people. And I mean, they all got the trendy, the Aquanauts, the Nautiluses, and they think their shit doesn't stink. They're really fucking insecure fucks. I mean, they've come into the hobby later on, and instead of going through the hobby, starting off with a Tag Heuer or Seiko 5, they start off at the top. And they want all the coolest ones. And what they don't realize is a brand like Patek Philippe, the flagship of Patek Philippe is the Calatrava range. That is the flagship. That is the real desirable type Pateks. And I got to be honest with you. I honestly want to get out of my Patek collection completely. I want to get out completely. I'd like to sell the entire collection off. I'd like to get out of them. I'm not happy with the new Patek owners. I'm not happy with the way Patek has changed into these slimy fucking sons of bitches who are just want to look at me sort of people, instead of having respect for the brand, respect for the progression of them. And whilst I don't hate the Aquanaut or the Nautilus, I've never really seen the value in them. I thought they were a lot better watches to own. And I think myself, if these weren't so hard to get, I'd like to get an Aquanaut on rubber myself. I think that'd be a great watch. But they're so hard to get. And I can't really identify with these new class of buyer. I got absolutely nothing in common. In fact, I would go as far as to say I really despise the new type of Patek buyer type owner. And I mean, it's not that I got a glass jaw and I can't take some criticism. It's just that these guys, absolute jerks. And I got to be honest with you, I don't want to argue with their point of view. I don't want to convince them that I'm right. I just want to get out of the brand totally. I want to get out of Patek Philippe totally. And I got to be honest with you, that's not quite as easy as it normally is to do. We're in the middle of a pandemic, COVID-19. But I'm honestly, I tell you now, I don't want to argue with Zane. You know, tell him that my Pateks are the tradition of the brand, the house. I don't want to explain it. I just want out of the fucking brand because I hate your guts so much. I just want out of the brand. I want to get out of the brand. It's funny. Tanzil got me into the brand. He's the one who really got me into collecting the 5 Pateks. And Zane, and to some extent Victor, got me out of the brand. Okay? I mean, Victor, the shit, he was a bit of a pompous fuck when he came on the channel and blah, 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 blah. Then it came out that Victor was bisexual and he'd been married to some minor celebrity and blah, blah. And I stuck my neck out. I stuck my neck out and stood up for him. He never did nothing for me. He fucked off. He never did fuck all for me. Victor didn't do anything for me. No, never came back on the channel again. And then people like Zane, who's, let's be honest there, it's his father's money. It wasn't even his money. You know, we can all spend, you know, we can all be the lotto winner or the inheritance. Yeah, but it only counts when it's your money, not daddy's money. You know, you've got to... I've got a lot of respect for a self-made person who's got 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 decent watches. More so than that some spoiled shit who's inherited a big gob of money and just has bought all the cool shit. And I got to be honest with you, I want out of the brand. Zane, I don't want to argue with you. I want totally out of the brand. I want nothing to do with the brand. I dislike your characteristics. I dislike your opinions, and I want nothing to do with something that you own. So I seriously would like to completely gut my Patek collection. That's what I want to do. I want to get out completely. That's what I want to do. I want out. I want out. And I'm just going to, at the moment, I got to tell you honestly, I've got my 5196. I'm actually in the middle of negotiating a sale. There we go. That's the 5196. I've got a guy in Tasmania. He's the guy who bought the Explorer 2 off me. He's seriously interested in this. I did a special deal with him. I've done a pricing, and I've actually given him 2 straps instead of the 1 strap. I mean, these straps are 800 Sing, 790 Sing plus tax each. So I've done an amazing deal. I'm just going to get that deal over the line next week, and then I can tell you honestly, I would like to move the entire collection. Okay, I'm going to make the vids. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not in the right mental framework as such for that. But I'd like to sell the 4 remaining. I've got the bookshelf with all the books and all the watches stored in it. 4. I've got all the books. I've got all the old catalogs. I'd like to get rid of the 4 watches. So that's the 5110 World Time, the 5035 World Time, That's also the 5127 and the 6006. It's those 4 Pateks plus the full display. I've got the poster signed by Henry and Terry and Philippe Stern. The poster. I've got all the books, the Madani books. I've got the John Reardon books. I've got the Nick Folks. I've got all the books. I've got all the catalogs, multiple copies of catalogs. I want to sell it as one lot. So I'm just going to dump this. I've got a buyer in Tasmania next week that's going to go. Once I've done that deal, I'm going to sell off the entire collection, hopefully in one hit. I don't really want to piecemeal it. It's a fabulous collection. I'd like to get out of Patek Philippe. The brand no longer holds the values dear to my heart. The people that I see who are the Patek type owners, I don't like where they're coming from. Okay? I just don't like where they're coming from. I don't approve. I do not approve. I don't like what they say. I don't like what they do. I'm just pissed off completely with them. I mean, these people, Patek people, are kind of as tacky as gold Rolex people. They're worse. They're actually worse. Patek has become a brand that I used to love and admire. It's now a brand I despise. And I'd like to completely get out of Patek Philippe. That's right. I want to get out of it completely. And I got to be honest with you. I'm seriously serious. I just want to get out of Patek completely. I want to be completely rid of Patek Philippe. I'm sorry. It just doesn't tug at my heartstrings anymore. I'm sorry, okay? It just doesn't make me happy. So I'd honestly, I've got the Taswegian who's buying my 5196 possibly. And then I want to get rid of the whole lot in one hit. Okay? World Time, Annual Calendar, 5127 White Gold Calatrava and 6006 Calatrava. Beautiful 4-piece collection with books, manuals, absolutely everything. I want to get out. I'm sick of the brand. I don't like what Patek has become. I don't like the new buyer who wants Aquanauts and Nautiluses. They're really quite grubby. And I got to be totally honest with you. If I'm going to be honest with you, Patek isn't these new people coming into Pateks. They want the Nautilus, the Aquanauts. They completely miss it. I don't want to argue with Zane. I don't. I just want to sell up and get the fuck out. I just completely don't like where Patek has gone. And I mean, they're some of my role models, you know, Houdinki, Ben Clymer from Houdinki. He loves Patek. Yeah. Ben has been a role model. That's why I got my annual calendar. I couldn't afford a fucking 3940. I got the best thing I could, a 5035. And I mean, I get that. Ben's a good guy. John Reardon from Collectability. He's a fucking cool guy. But for every John Reardon, there's half a dozen dicks. That's the problem. There's more dickheads than good people. And that's why I want out of the brand. I just want nothing to do with Patek Philippe. I want to get out of the brand. I want out. I want out of the brand. It's no longer the things I aspire to. I didn't know it was going to affect me this much, but I want out. I want out of Patek. The new Patek buyers, they're not the traditional Patek buyers that I'm used to. So I've got to tell you this, guys. I'm making this video here. It's sad. But I want to sell my entire Patek collection. I can look back fondly and remember my times with my Pateks, but I don't want to own a Patek anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just how I feel about it. I just don't feel Patek. I don't feel Patek people are kind of that cool anymore. They've become the douchebags. They've become douchebags. I saw another video last night. A really good car channel I watch is The Car Guys. And fuck me dead, that guy's got money. He's got money. Anyhow, they've started a new channel called The Watch Channel. Guess what he's got? Nautiluses, Aquanauts, all the would-be, if I could be, sort of watches. And I got to tell you the truth. I'll put a link up to The Watch Guys, but that's not what I really aspire to having. I don't aspire to that. The Watch Guys has become an acronym for bad taste. Everything I dislike in a mark. What brand would I go to? That's such an interesting question. I'd like to stick with one brand. I'd like to stick with one brand and have a few pieces. I mean, I could, if I cash out my Pateks, I could possibly get a beautiful small Lange collection, small Vacheron collection. AP's not the right element for me. Breguet, maybe not. Breguet's a bit, how's your father? Rolex collection. I mean, all the douchebag Rolex people, they're going into Patek, so maybe it's time to go back to Rolex. All the douchebags are leaving. I'll have to think about it. But, yeah, I've got, this watch is going to a Taswegian next week, possibly. And then I'd like to sell the entire collection in one hit. I'd like to get out. I want to get out. Get out! 4 watches, books, catalogs, absolutely everything. I want to get out of it. That's what I'd like to do. That's what I'd like to do. Tell me what you think, guys. Tell me what you think. I got to get this one over the line to the Taswegian. Then I think I want to liquidate all my Pateks. Time to liquidate. Time to liquidate. Get out. I got to pay a few debts back. Yeah, it might be time to change horses in midstream.
Some people love fruit. Others choose to learn Greek. Some study archaeology. Others are interested in Japanese culture. For some people, everything must work just like a Swiss watch. Others appreciate the creative disarray. There are the frontline type of people, and the other type that would prefer to remain in the shadows. Most of us, however, like to study the wonders of everyday life. We cultivate traditional values in the world of modern technologies. One day, we choose exclusive restaurants. The other day, we go for street food. But there are also those people who don't have that choice at all. Some people have everything they need, and some will never have enough. Generally, a large part of our society has tons of luck when it comes to life, but we also mustn't forget to support the part that hasn't. No matter who you are, what you do, and how much you possess, if you are able to take care of the others, you have your own personal tint. Tint. Watch changes. Together.
Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW.